So I'm about to watch the movie. I've seen it a bunch of times, but it's just I love it. That's My Boy with Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg. Um, I don't know if you've ever experienced anything close like that, where you had a little romantic encounter with a teacher, but the ape father actually did. And it's okay. The ape wife knows all about it. I told her about it. She's sitting down. Hey, this is before we knew each other. I was in high school here. So what happened was the teacher's name. I got to be careful. Imagine you like look this woman up, right? I'm going to say it anyway. Her name was Miss Spivak. Okay, and she was an English teacher. Now she loved the way I played piano. So she said to me, she says, "Do you give piano lessons?" So I said, "A matter of fact, I do. And she says, "Listen, I'd be willing to come to your house and to pay you." So I was just like really blown away because she's my English teacher. I'm like, okay. I mean, maybe we could work something out. Give me an A, baby. But anyway, she's like, "So when can we set up a lesson?" I know we set a day, we set a time. So she comes to my house. Now listen, I was a sexy I had a sexy bod back then, not like now, you understand? You're talking about I was 17 years old. I was in the prime of my life. I was about 175 pounds. I got to show you pictures of me. I look like Ricky Martin. I was a sexy dude, right? So I had the piano upstairs, which was kind of private because my parents, when my father was working, he was in the fire department. He was working, but my mother was downstairs, and she would never interrupt me during a piano lesson. So we kind of had a closed off, privacy. So long story short, she comes up and she's got those sexy stockings on, those, and she's got like this very short cut skirt and like those like really hot stockings. I was just like, holy cow, you know what I mean? So whatever. So she goes, "Can you do me a favor, please?" I'm like, "Sure, anything you need." She goes, I can't reach my stocking." She goes, "Can you just fix it for me?" I'm like, "Oh." My wife's listening in the background. Are you mad at me, Jen? She's not even paying attention. So she's like, "I think, it just doesn't feel comfortable. Can you straighten it out for me?" She goes, "I don't mind." So I fixed the stockings, and, next thing you know, I said to her, "I think there might be a little rip in it." And she goes, "Really?" She goes, "I'm okay with that. Are you okay with that? Does that bother you?" I know you think this is bullshit, but this really happened. And I said, "No, I'm totally okay with it." I said, "Would you mind if I check the other leg to see if there's a hole in that one too?" She says, "Please do." She says, "Check all around." Now that's pretty much all I'm going to say because my wife's going to grab me by my balls and she's going to twist them. My wife gets jealous. She acts like she doesn't, but there were times where she got jealous. Like I'm going to tell you a story. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. When I had the office and the Empire State Building. Okay, come on, Jen, we got to get your okay on this. I had my secretary. She's my good friend. Now, but I got to tell the story. My secretary was Liz. Now, let me explain to you a little story about this girl. I'm going to tell you the full story. My mom, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, listen, it is what it is. My mom introduced me to this girl. Now, my mom, remember I told you that she worked at FDR High School and she had the connections with all the girls. She was the bathroom attendant. All the hot girls knew my mother, right? So, long story short, this girl lived around the corner from us. And for whatever the reason is, she walked my mother home. And my mom says, "Listen, Richie, I want you to meet somebody." And I'm like lying down. I'm eating some popcorn. I was watching a movie. I'm like, "Ma, come on, I'm tired. I want to relax," right? She goes, "Listen, this is a very nice girl. I want you to meet her from school." So I'm like, all right, when I get up. Now, even my wife will admit this. Listen, come on. Now, Jennifer, would you consider Liz like she was a pretty attractive girl, right? Like just describe the way Liz looked. I'm not, they only see my face.
She's a very attractive girl. She looked like Fran from The Nanny,
Right.
a young version.
Exactly. And she had like, the outfit on where she had no bra, don't get upset. And she was like shaking it for me. And I was like, holy cow. So, like I said to you, we became friends over the years. She became my secretary. at the Empire State Building. Now, my wife came up well, she wasn't my wife at the time. She was my girlfriend, Jennifer. At the time, she was my girlfriend. Came up to the Empire State Building and, wanted to say hello to me, to congratulate me that I opened my new office, Amazing Ideas, 40th floor, 4005, Empire State Building. She meets the secretary. Now, she never met Liz before. Jen, come on. What was your reaction when you first saw Liz, my secretary?
Well, we were in the lobby of the Empire State Building, and she comes running up to me and she gives me this big hug. And she's like, "Oh my God." She goes, "I heard so much about you." And she's like, "Bah, bah, 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 bah." And I just remember thinking to myself, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him.
Okay.
Because,
You don't have to get into all the
no, yeah, I don't want
details.
to get into it because Liz is a very nice girl.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
Right. So the bottom line was my wife got jealous because she saw me with a little hottie with her, sexy little bod. But the Eighth Father is a faithful man. I was faithful then. I'm faithful now. That's all I have to say.